Ladies and gentlemen, it is Dutch people. It's time for a new knife video, and today I've had the chance to lay my hands on a Boker Arbolito. And it's actually a hunting knife, but I'm going to see how it performs bushcraft and survival tasks. So let's cut to the chase and start testing. Okay, so for the first test I'm going to place myself in a survival situation. I've only got this knife. I need some firewood. So I'm gonna cut down this little tree with this knife. And of course this knife isn't made for chopping. Let's go. Alright. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this thing up and baton it and see how good of a batoner this knife is. So the first problem is that the knife isn't too long itself. I'll show you here. The cutting blade is only about this thick, or this long I mean. Nevertheless, I'm gonna try it anyway. So this knife already isn't the best batoner I've got. Let me just make that clear. Okay. So just to give you guys an example, I am really not able to get this knife through this log here, which isn't that thick. But if I just try this with my S1, easy does it. Boker Arbolito. Okay, Valknieven S1. That's how it's done. People, I'm afraid I'm gonna stop putting this knife for all these tough jobs because this little pin is a little bit loose, I found out. That kind of proves to me that it really is a hunting knife and not a bushcrafting, or especially not a surviving knife. So I'm gonna stop abusing this knife, people. Let's make a fire. Okay, I gotta give it to it. It actually does make a pretty decent fire. Because the sparks are brilliant, look at this. Okay, so for the last test, I'm gonna try and make a spear that I can throw with a stick, like you see in those ancient films. Just to see how good this knife is in carving, and purely the carving, because I don't want to abuse it anymore because I've got the feeling it's breaking on me. Here I am. So people, the Boker Arbolito, how did it perform? We didn't buy this knife, we got it sent to us from Boker, and we have to return it as well, so this is not a keeper.
Well, thank you Boker for letting us test this knife.
Just want to give a few remarks about this knife. When I took it out of the box, it was incredibly dull, like honestly incredibly dull. I wouldn't be able to cut paper like this, certainly. I wasn't even able to make a single feather stick with it.
Now that might be a very big issue to people who can't sharpen their knives themselves, because for us it isn't really a problem, but for a lot of people who want to buy a knife, it is an actual problem.
Yeah, but it wasn't only very dull, but it was also wrongly sharpened, because the edge of the knife wasn't in the middle. It was somewhere from the bottom right to the upper left. Didn't even sharpen it on the stones, because that would take me too long. I had to sharpen it on the belt grinder to get a decent result, and even then I was busy for probably about half an hour or longer.
Yeah.
So that's a very big downside to me, and especially for all you viewers who are having some trouble with sharpening or just want a sharp knife out of the factory, which I really respect and understand, of course. Second of all, the pins, while doing some hard use, batoning, this pin kind of came loose a little bit. And I kind of had to tap it back into the knife a little bit, and it wasn't a severe problem, but kind of just to know that you can't abuse the knife is already a big disadvantage for me.
It does look gorgeous.
And that's one of the plus sides, is that as a hunting knife, if you know how to sharpen a knife, as a hunting knife, this knife would be bloody amazing, yeah?
Yeah.
Because the looks, the aesthetics of this knife, they're great.
Yeah. And the handle geometry.
And the handle geometry is one of, I mean, that's one for the books, Martin. No, really. Really, this kind of looks like a premium knife from Boker. But you had the Boker Arbolito with a different handle material. And maybe then it is good. But I know that this particular knife that they sent me isn't that good for survival or bushcraft, and I wouldn't recommend it. So yeah, I hope you like this video. Please like, subscribe, and please tell us what you thought of this video. See you later, people. Dit was Dutch Bushcraft Knives. Stay sharp.
Little secret, I'm not Mickey. I'm Martin.
What?